Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here. Welcome back to some more of our road to the league with Southport. No, I am not Batman. I just don't have the light on above because, yeah, I just don't want it on. And it shouldn't be too bad because you should be able to see me still down here. So we're all good. I still have the two screens, so it's showing enough light. We're going to be going through the end of season review, see what we can do with the roster and if we can improve going forward. So without further ado, let's get right into this one. Yes, I'm also to go through these transfer windows. I typically have something on over on my left side, whether it be music or something else. With everything, with how I set it up, I can hear it, but you can't. But the fact that these things take a couple hours in silence, I could do it, but just not a couple hours of silence in front of my computer. So we saw the initial budget. We actually didn't get more through here. Now I'm going to ask if we can get we're not able to. Okay, end of season review. Let's just start there. I was going to ask for a bigger cut. All right, our key man, Bruno, from SEP came over at 3.5 million, 26 appearances, 8 as a substitute. Did have a couple of injuries, but only a 6.58. Yeah, we had no one that we brought in had over a 7. That's worrisome. That means this team was just not enough. Daniel Torreo actually was a pretty good keeper for us. 15 starts, led in 39, but I think this is more of a defensive issue than anything. Defensive issue more than anything. Axelson coming in for 5 million. I think he's played all right. He had a couple of injuries, but him having a very weak left foot does not help things. And then Dig was just someone that we brought in because it was cheap. Herrera, that was a good one to pull in. And he's growing. I think he's going to get up to a Prem status, but I don't know. Gleason turning 29. I mean, he has good natural fitness or decent. I'm just not sure if he's... I mean, if we could sell him for 48 million, I would do that. Elise coming in. This was just Man City releasing someone that we needed to put in. That experiment didn't work. And sometimes you have to admit when an experiment doesn't work, even if you like the player, you have to cut bait. Too many times, at least in real life wise, you'll see a lot of teams hold on to someone, stick with him for too long. This is just one we're going to have to probably cut bait. I mean, even if it's that much, it's not worth the contract. David Sidhole, I think he just needs more. I think he just needs more playing time. Mac, we didn't really play Mac all that much. We did not really play Mac that much, and I'm actually going to turn on this light now. Okay, it's just going to be bright, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. All right. Zanelli was decent. I think the guy that solidifies our midfield for the next year is Bunde. I mean, I made some swings. It kept us up, but we need better swings going into next year. Our one's out. Esmold Will Neal for 18.5 million. That was a big sell. Big sell. And then we had some guys go out on loan. We had about 100. Actually, no, not even that. We had about 75 to 80K in fees, loan fees. How our affiliate finished was 9th in the Vanarama National League North. So we're going to have to assist them in getting up. So the Prem, we finished 15th. We had some bad games, especially that 7-0 loss to Man City to start the season. We had a couple of close calls, 4-3 against Aston Villa, 4-3 against Nottingham Forest. A bad loss, 5-0 to United, a 4-0 to West Ham. Just, yeah, it wasn't great. FA Cup bounced up by Stoke City once again out of a cup. And then we came up with Chelsea and they just completely destroyed us. All right, goal of the season. Herrera in the 36th minute from 23 yards out. Herrera was our biggest goal scorer, I think. We're going to look through the stats statistically and we're going to have to make a decision. It was our only goal in this 4-1 loss to Chelsea. Plays it over. Herrera from there. Just a great turnaround, Stolinia, and it's a good goal. All right, sponsorships. Of course, they're going to be dramatically more because we're in the Prem. One thing that was actually interesting was 6.13 million in merchandise with non-domestic at 316K. I wonder if that's Elise, Sunsuit Bell, and Gleason. Maybe a little bit of Herrera. We're up to a national now. Maybe a national 3-star. We'll have to see. We're going to have to change this. We have to play something more defensive. All right, we were the champion, or the championship head coach of the year because that award comes in at the last part, well, actually the first part of this year. So we did get it for last year. Advanced player of the season, Gleason. And it's telling that he's 6.9. Herrera, 6.8. Young player. Signing, Bruno. Top goal scorer was Simone De Rosa. I mean, that kills us there. Wow, he is a wonder kid. Maybe. I don't know. Zanali with 7 assists. Orel, 3 man of the matches. Went had the highest average rating. It's bad when you're goalkeeper. And there's the fees. Okay. Avoid relegation. Just be better. Okay, so the meeting. Possession. Make most of set piece. High tempo. Attacking. Entertaining. Do not sign players over the age of 30. Okay. That's because of the funds. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. That is there because of the funds that they've given us. All right. Talk about the Prem. I think we're good enough. Bro, we're renting Anfield. How close is Southport to Liverpool? How close is it? Blackpool is in the north. Okay, so Liverpool is just to the south. What it looks like is like this. So I don't know my UK geography because I'm not from the UK. Southport is here. We've rented Anfield, which is down here. I think Anfield's probably a better one. What about Manchester United? Would it have been smart to rent theirs? It's probably just cost less. And so that's for the expansion. 25, okay. All right, so we have, I'm looking at Simon Bergali, and could he be the next big Norwegian talent next to Bunde? We could make our entire midfield Norwegian. But I think he could be a pretty good anchor, which is what I want to do to pull a better front on the defense. So, his history, Brand, he hasn't played much. He hasn't played any. He is 18. I mean, maybe we can get him for a pretty cheap million, maybe. Will you take 2.5? I'll give him 3. I hate that you can't actually take out. Okay, let's give him 3. Okay, that should be a good one that I've kind of identified. Kind of still going through some of the youngsters. Maybe we can get something. Nail and Bully. Yeah. Okay. So that's my first signing attempt for the season. Our next bit that we're looking at, however, I don't like that he's not consistent, is going to be Giannis Thielman. Can improve significantly. He's considered a wonder kid at 20, and he's cheap, 5.4 to 8 million. Nothing crazy on any clauses there. His history has been down in League 2. Was okay. In 26 games, played League 2 again at Sandhausen. Was okay. Did have 5 for Leipzig at games, 6.40. But the biggest thing is he could grow into something, which is kind of what we're going with. Now, how he compares, looking at, say, Veronese here, it doesn't look like a big change here. Better in attacking, and I think I want to play more as an inverted wingback maybe. But the biggest thing is when his tackling technique is on match, but better mentals. Not as better in the concentration decisions, but overall leadership's good, off the ball movement, work rate, and then his physicals are a bit better as well. So I think he could be good. The issue is he wants us to improve. But we're going to put in a bid for him anyway. We'll put in for 6 million. Okay, let's go 6 million with an installment of 2 million. We'll see how that works. All right, so let's round up the league and the stats and everything like that. So in the league itself, United does take the title, 2 points over Chelsea. Champions League slots otherwise go to Chelsea, Arsenal, and Newcastle United. The Europa League slots go to Man City and Tottenham. There might be a second one here for Liverpool, but we'll kind of have to see that. And we know that Leeds, Wolves, and Burnley are relegated down. For the stats, nothing up here. So we're going to look at this by team wise. So 11 goals by Simon De Rosa, playing at our striker position. Not great, especially since the transfer clause is 24 million if we want to bring him in. I just don't see it. Iker Herrera, playing more of an attacking midfielder, comes ahead and puts 11 in. Jude, who's 33, coming in. We just needed someone to sub in and play some games. 12 starts, 21 subs, 7 goals, 4 assists. I mean, we're looking for a lot more from there. Rating wise, I mean, Jack Wint has our highest rating. Other than that, it's Gleason, who became a backup as time goes off. It's JSB. Then it's our other goalkeeper. I mean, yeah, you're not going to win games like that. For our expiration, Bunde is actually not actually provisionally signed for another contract. You don't have to worry about that. Otherwise, everyone else is slated to be on the team from there. So how that's going to kind of suss out from the under 21s is, let's kind of do this now. Right, the under 18s is only Hackett and Jones are going to move up to the under 21s. Other than that, everyone's going to be staying here. And our under 21s, I mean, there shouldn't be an issue with a lot of them. So a lot of them will stay here. Our loans, we're going to have to kind of suss through this and probably do some selling, but we'll see who ultimately goes out on those. As for the rotation, how we're going to plan this going into the preseason, let me take this filter off, is from the start of it, and we'll put the defense, we'll play it like this, which makes more sense to me. Elise is going to be here, and I'm not sure if we're going to do it. So is Sunsu Bell. Varanasi is also going to be in here. But I think at this point, he is our starter on the outside. Benea is an unknown, probably a sub. And Velasquez is probably a sub. And Casito is your other sub on the other side. But from there, I think Suenga, maybe Zinelli, is also another guy that plays somewhere up at the top. The formation we're going to end up playing, though, is likely more of this. I think this is how we're ultimately going to play. We'll see how it ultimately works. I'm not sure with a libero, though. Maybe we might want to play with more of an anchor like this. But I think we're going to play it more conventionally, at least at first, and have two non-conventional formations. We'll have a conventional formation from there. Because I think playing like this, what this allows us to do is we play with an anchor on one who drops down, is if you know what an anchor does. Main duty is to sit in the hole between the defense and the midfield, intercepting moves, winning the ball, and laying off simple passes. So they don't venture too far. Actually, hold on. Yeah, what we were seeing with an anchor was a guy that was putting himself in the middle. Oh, the halfback is the one that we want to see. Actually, we'll play with a halfback here. And then probably a deep lying playmaker on support. Like this. This is probably what we'll end up playing with in that. So with that in mind, let's have the last two here, and then the two on the outside, which is our left and right. Casito can't actually play that. Elias is probably a better one to play here. And I think Bunde is probably good to play in that one. We'll pop Gleason back. And then Bergstrom is better on the left side, I think. And then I think these guys down here will end up being sold. Herrera plays in the middle, maybe. In that, well, there's no maybe. He plays in the middle. We have this, I think, though, maybe Herrera. Monday is a good player that could play defensive mid. Maybe it's something like this. And then who really plays on the outside? I mean, maybe it's like this. And then maybe Axelson like this. And this is how we play it to start with. However, Sonali might be one that's already up to speed. Okay. This is what we'll kind of look at doing going through. It's a 4-2-3-1, but it's a very eccentric 4-2-3-1. And with Bunday not knowing that middle position is likely going to hurt his ability. But I think if we have him, say, as a roaming playmaker, for example, I think as a roaming playmaker, he might be able to play more. The concentration's not there. Maybe it's a Segundo Volante. Maybe it's a Segundo Volante to get up in this space. Let's say, for example, we had Gleason then. There were still some fundamental issues that we'll be dealing with in the middle. But this is the formation we're going to try with. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if it will even work. But yeah, I guess we shall see. Otherwise, Orel is up here, playing in that position. Sunsuit Bell's in here, and then maybe on the right side. Yeah, we need better players. We need better players across the board. Okay. That's how we're gonna kind of see what happens. Now we're gonna start skipping through some stuff. The only players that I've actually put offers into is Thielman and Vergelli, which would be Vergelli playing in the middle as a DM, which he'd be a lot better. And then Giannis Thielman is playing on a wing as a very good type. Now, the idea, though, is we need to figure out what we're doing in the middle. So our first signing, Vergelli, he does want to play here. Let's say if he pulls up a 7 in first team matches, he can be an important player. Relegation, he should be granted a work permit after appeal. Let's take that out. I mean, that's only 200,000 for that salary, which is not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, let's see what we can get and kind of see what happens in this league overall. Okay, so we have a possible board takeover. Floating the club on the stock market. Is that a consortium? We'll have to see. Come on. If you want... I'm not giving you a 40% here. Rejecting that offer outright. I will give you an extra couple million to avoid having that. Turnover ratio is pretty good for us. All right, let's put this in. Oh, maybe that was... Like, I give you an extra million, and that should do it. But... Oh, that's rejected because they rejected it. I thought Thielman rejected that. All right, still doing a little scouting here. Kind of revamped some of our scouting, and... The issue is I'm not seeing a lot of good talent that we can bring in easily. John Wilhelm God Johnson. He looks good, but we only League 2 potential at this point. All right, FA Cup review. It is Chelsea who wins that one, but they already have a Champions League spot, so that's why that extra spot goes down. Okay, work permit for Galdati. We clear the debts. Financial pay, we are good. Our tax bill is 14 million. Jesus. Ouch, that hurt. Okay, here's the sponsors that came through. So pretty good from last season. Broadcast revenues have went up. So this could be one here. Daniel Ramos, 20-year-old Mexican. He's contracted to Chavez. Not particularly consistent, but for $3 million a championship, he could potentially be someone. It is 6.67 though in Mexico. So I think Sambor is one guy we're going to send down to our affiliate. We'll move him to the senior team, but he is definitely going to be one guy that's going to be loaned out to FC United of Manchester. Maybe that's why they said, you're an affiliate of UFC of Manchester, we're not going to take you here, go get your stadium, go rent Anfield. That's what I'm going with. That's the storyline. So McGuinness is wanted by Sunderland. We're not going to fight over that because it's 325 in compensation. Okay, we knew his work permit was going to be denied, but he'll get it on appeal. So this could be a good signing here. Gabriel Vargic on a free, depending on how much money he actually wants. Jeez, he wants 5.69 to 7 million. Yeah, that's not happening. We still have to be frugal with how much we are spending at this point. As I keep on going through the scouting update, I'm not seeing a lot of guys that make sense. Seeing a lot of guys that are really freaking expensive that make sense. We still have to be frugal with our money until either the kind of buyout for the team happens or it's not that. Papadopoulos here. Papadopoulos maybe could be a reserve guy, but again, when I'm looking over here, I see Gonzalez is better. Velasquez, maybe he's on par with Velasquez. And now let's see it. Velasquez is better on that. Well, that kind of puts Papadopoulos more as a midfielder then. All right, but looking at this guy, Milan Simonovic. Doesn't cost a whole lot. 50k to 475k from Serbia. Currently playing in Serbia. I think he's a bit better than Gleason. Just doesn't have the height or the physical and jumping reach. But I think he's played decently well. He's more of a defensive midfielder or a playmaker up top. His consistency is not great, but the issue is neither is Gleason. Gleason being 29 years old, and we could sell him for 47 million. That is a big one. He's just not as consistent, but I think he is better overall. It's an ESC slot for him too. I think we can do this by just giving him maybe 450. Okay, I will give you 500. That seems like a good deal there. All right, so the contract for Simonovic. He wants to be a star player, play more of a defensive midfielder role. Now, if we were to do this, what do we do? Monday drops back. Maybe it's Elise drops back. Elise drops back into this role. But yeah, well, we'd play him as a star player, I think. Ends up being here. Let's take out that selfie. Give him a little bit more. We'll give him that minimum fee release clause because we're not paying much for him. We're paying 500k for him. So I'll keep that release clause on him. A lot of players are going to request a release clause. It's not something we can avoid because we're still teetering respectively near where most are. All right, we put a bid in for Ismet Lucic, and not sure when this Bosnian league is done. Actually, I think at this point it is done. I think it takes place at the same time where they want to loan him back and him be a fringe player. I want to reject that because I think him coming in and playing our under 21s and maybe in our first team might actually be what happens. Because he seems to be just behind Cabo and Dig. And I think that could be what we want to see. 1 year here. Let's take this off. Let's go 3. You will get a work permit, so that's fine there. And then we're trying to go with Cini here, and I think we can pull him in. Ooh. He was in Serie A, and he played freaking fantastic. I didn't realize that. How does that really compare? I'm going to do this. If there's an issue with our current keeping ability, we'll have him come in. And I'd be fine with that. Continental competition. Yep, I'm fine with that. Fine with that contract. That's probably the biggest one that we're going to do. We're also bringing in Josh Wilkes, center back, and on loan. And I think from there, we'll kind of tone it down. We'll see if we can sell some of the players that we have and rotate some guys out. So not everyone's back in off loan, but who we were going to send out is. So Garrett Jones is out over to Peterborough United. There it is. Goes under. City will take that extra Champions League spot that is for Europe every single year. Tottenham is in the Europa League, and then that pops down where Liverpool is in the Europa League. So that is an interesting bit of teams there in Europe. All right, the sponsor standings right now, I mean, goes to Tottenham. We only get 2.2 million, which I think is about the minimum, and we get a small boost at this point. What is that boost? Not much, just a small one. We keep on getting a lot of offers for Thiago. That's good to get him out. Maybe we'll be able to sell him. We have a bunch of loans that do end. Maybe we'll be selling some more guys, but we'll see. Bergstrom says he's underpaid. I would say Bergstrom is 100% underpaid, being on a Prem team. Talks in the future. I mean, if that's what you want for... Yeah, I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving them that much money. I promise contract talks, not the deal with you demanding. The deal where you demanding was just way too much for the role you play in this club, my guy. It's not going to be what it is, Bergstrom. I'm sorry. So signings of the season last season, Martinelli was a free transfer. Like, this one was a banger of a transfer. For Bruggen, I mean, some good transfers in here, but a lot of them, there's only a couple of them that were actually free. Will change, don't have to worry. Expectations, avoid relegation. I'm fine with that. Club. Okay. Club facilities. Okay, we're going to be moving games around because we can't play at the same time as Liverpool. So that stuff is going to be a bit difficult. I do have an issue with the English players at the club. I do need to sign 2 more English players to be able to be in this. So great attendance at this point. De Rosa has no interest in coming back. We receive 100 million for TV rights. So it's going to go through to the club. Work permit comes in for Palosini. We're going to accept that. And Ismet Lutic will come in. We will accept that. We're going to still need multiple guys. Okay. Our fixtures, we start the year at Brentford. At least we don't start the year at Man City. City just hurt my soul in that first game. This Rotterdam actually declined this. Do I have a requirement to have one with Rotterdam? Is that why we're doing that? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Obviously, we're going to accept this. Division 3. Division 2. See? Instead of wanting 5.41 to 7.1, we have pulled in Gabriel Vargic because he was released for 1.58. Maybe he takes that. The only other team that is in a bid for him is Birmingham City and SV Further. We are the higher tier of that. That would be a big catch if we could pull him in. So what we're looking at is a guy that will play as a deep lying playmaker, and he plays probably where Bunde would be, and I'm fine with that. I am particularly great with that. And here is your clubs that are. So Vargic was a young player actually released from Tottenham. Hayden Roberts, would he play center back for us? I mean, do I still have that requirement not to sign players over 30? I do. So I would love to bring in Kierkegaard. Like, this is a very good player. But last year, played in France, could have did something. Now this is a possibility. This is a possibility. Ooh. He becomes one of our key players in the back. The issue is, can we get him on? Let's say like 4.5. The 2.4. If we can pull him in, that is a massive signing. Massive signing for us. So this is a questionable decision. We can get him on a loan though and see how it works, and then maybe pay a future fee, but this is going to be a very questionable decision. We need a forward. We have no natural good forwards on our team. All right, so Morrow wants to come in. We could probably get him. He just gets 5 league goals at this point. I would be fine with that. Okay, I actually like. See if we can pay him about 715. Okay, that'll work. I probably could have taken that lower at that point. Or actually, we can. We'll have Jude sit up there for preseason. Did we get these eyes actually put in? Oh, that's gonna be. We're not gonna be able to change his contract then. Did a couple more sales here. Velasquez, he wanted a new contract. We could not give it to him. We went ahead and sold him over to La Equidad in Colombia. We made 1.5 from that. Nothing crazy. There's actually one that would give us 6 to 7, but I didn't realize it. Kind of blew it off for a clause that could have been us paying some of his contract, which wasn't a lot, and I just completely botched that. Andrew Greasley going out. He's going to leave and go to Wickham Wanderers. So we finally get him off. It's no fee, but we're just trying to get more bodies out and kind of doing other things. We did make a couple of other signings. We'll kind of go through those. A couple of them are important because we're kind of on the cusp of not having a particular, like an issue of not having enough English players. So Katsutoshi does go back to Japan. We have that. Zavi will go over to Queen's Park Rangers. Another one where it's just we need to get him off the books and out. So he is out for only 50K, but that's fine. The guys that we brought in at Clevery, we saw him on a free transfer. We brought him in, and he is going to be starting in one of our center back positions. The other one, Markovic, we brought him in on loan from City, and well, hopefully we're going to live and die by him, how good he is as a striker. So there is that. On the flip side, we finally did get in Pedro Amaro, so he's going to be one of our reserve attacking options. Hopefully he gets better from there, and I think that is it. I don't think we had anyone actually leave other than that. Yeah, Velasquez, Sambor over to Bromley on loan, Arnell to Hull City, and then Demos over to FC United of Manchester. So nothing crazy right now on this front end. You've kind of seen it all. The ones that we're kind of looking at is, we have Ismet and Vidagarli in. Both of them will come in. Well, Vidagardi, I did not notice. I wanted this to come in at the start of the season. I botched this transfer. I noticed I just botched this. Oh well, that happens. We're trying to get in someone else with the English descent here. Mafe Hamadi, maybe the guy. Maybe. I don't know. But I would love to have him in just to solidify the back. So we'll put him in, and our last one will be if we get the guy coming in. We have a couple other slots if we need it. So that's likely going to be the end of our signings from there. So King going out to Rochdale. That's nothing crazy out on loan. And yeah, if we pull him in, we'll be ready for this Brentford game in the next episode. So I'm going to keep skipping through. If anything changes, well, I'll let you know. Okay, Mafe is in. And we're here. All right, top goal scorers. I mean, it's none of us, but Axel Ferreira from Arsenal, Chelsea, Elias Brunig, Jonah Kusei-Asari from Liverpool, Marvinho for Newcastle, Banzino, Rodavnik for City, and Evan Ferguson for United. So everyone has one in there. Nothing has happened with the board. All right, so top players. There's a couple, same one in here. Axel Ferrara from Arsenal, Antino Di Pasquale for Chelsea, Juan Vera for United, and then 3 Newcastle players, Marvinho, Matteo DeVito, and Attila Almeida Ferrara. So Newcastle might be coming in pretty strong as we just absolutely battered our rival Fleetwood Town. Remember, we are playing in Anfield. I wonder how a rivalry with Fleetwood Town went in the attendance and how a lot of these are going. So this was all in the US. This was at home against Liverpool, but that's at Anfield. 10,000 against Fleetwood Town. Okay, that's interesting. We might have double. Like, the game seems to think that we are going to hemorrhage a lot of money. I mean, what did we make last year? Last season was 181. And how much did we have this season in just gate receipts? Oh, wow. Entire last season was 6.5. We are almost already to 1 million. And we are in preseason right now. Wow. Anfield is... The fact that we just took Anfield and like made it the one that we rented out, we should have did this last year. All right, young player odds here. Fight Out Wisdom for City. Chelsea has Dennis Molnar. Lyle Amala for Tottenham. Andrew Savales for Everton. Oh, that's probably Savales. There's a double L. There's a Y. Is he Spanish? I'm guessing. Jorge Alvarez and Rob Winter. So I just want to say, we're selling 15,000 tickets while we're at Anfield right now. 15,000 tickets. And this game seems to think we're going to be struggling for some profit down the line. I think our actual... Wow. This is going to triple what we had last season. Like just the season tickets, 10 million this year. 10 million because we were able to sell. We have no season ticket waiting list, but they were able to sell even more. Like this here on a replay. Wow. Just wow. And if we actually do decent at Anfield and we kind of push that up, we could have an insane season. Insane season of just dropping with the money. All right, so there's our expectation review. Attempt to avoid relegation from the Prem. Be competitive in both cups. Okay, if he appears in 20 league games, he will this year, more than likely. He's kind of injured right now. From there, I think we're a couple days away from the game. Okay, I just think you're not there. But he wants to be loaned out. Okay, a loan sounds feasible and smart for you. That makes sense. I'm also going to put you out for 2 million and put you on the transfer list. And then this Brentford game is going to be very interesting. See how this is. Now we're playing on Sunday because Saturday Liverpool is playing at Anfield, so that makes sense. Some of our games are going to be offset just because of that. Sambor is doing a lot of work there for Bromley. I'm liking that. I wish he was doing it for FC United of Manchester, but yeah, it's just not meant to be. We put Bergstrom out on loan because there was some anger with him from him not having the playtime that he wanted. So we went ahead and sent him out on loan. We'll probably sell him when he comes back. But here, the preview for the Prem this season. So, one game has been played at this point. We are last. The media projects us. We have a 2001 chance to stay up. Swansea City also has a 2001. Derby County has 1001, but I think we are better, though. That's the thing. We are better this season. As we look through here, we have two players here. Ryan Clavery and Milan Sinovic. Those are two good players. Like, are we going to win the Prem? Hell no. Chelsea is slated to win the Prem, but I think we could do another mid-table finish. And then anything can happen. If you can get us somewhere in like 10 or maybe a 9 or 8, you never know that can happen, because you could have a situation to where, say, if these guys up here win the cup, this could be extended down. If something's extended down further, like, you can have something where you can have the top 10 teams in European football. And that's important, that if we can just pull a top 10 finish, if the cards lay right, we'll be in European football, and that will be a big boon to the team. So that is the goal. We didn't really do any other like signings or anything. Ismet also won't be here until 2038. I kind of messed both of those transfers up. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is, because I wasn't paying attention. So in the start of the league, we'll play Brentford. We did end up getting Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. Of course, we'll play Brentford, Tottenham, and Sheffield United in the first episode at least. We don't start out with City, but City is down in November, so at least that is helpful. I think last year we started with City and Chelsea. Like, we got absolutely demolished. What did we start with? I can look. Last year we started with, City, Aston Villa, and Chelsea. Like, at least this time it's Brentford, Tottenham, and Sheffield United. And with Sheffield United might be one that we come in, play a full team. However, we switch out our goalkeepers and play like that. That'll probably be something we do, because we do have to give some game time to a boy here, Paulo Cini. We do have to give him some game time, and maybe he'll get better. He's already a decent Prem player at this point, and so is Danielle here. So this will be your starter, and this will be the formation. We will coming in with what is technically a very unconventional 4-2-3-1. Essentially, it falls back into a 5 when we don't have the ball. What I mean by that is Simonovic will take this position in this area. I don't know, an analysis it kind of is here with that. But he drops back, and it essentially is a 5 when we don't have the ball with those 5. When we do have the ball, it turns into an attacking bit on the sides with the wings, while everyone's crowding the box, the wings in there, and then Bunde is playing up in this box area with Herrera. So it ends up being more of a 3-2, and then your 2 wingers out wide. I mean, it's not the greatest. It would probably be better if I switch those around. But it's not the greatest idea, but it's an idea that I have seen played, and I'm putting my own twist to it, which is this anchor. So we kind of played, I think last season, we tried this libero, which is the same concept. The idea is you're still playing a 4-back, but when you have the ball, this libero is playing in this space. But we weren't occupying enough of the space to the left and right in the midfield. So this midfielder was being pulled over here, and then this would get field swept like over, and then this guy over here would be open, and they would just pass the ball. The idea with this is that when we have that, he drops into here, Bunde drops into space, so it turns into pretty much a 5 and a 1, and then Herrera plays around this box, and you won't have players kind of running back and forth and leaving space open. So that's the idea. Plus, with the anchor, any runs towards the middle should be caught in the middle of these guys. Keyboard should, and we'll see it. It's very structured defense, and we'll see what we can do. So we're pretty comfortable with it. Monday is finally up to speed for the most part. He's competent. And yeah, we're just gonna hope he grows and grows and grows, because I think he could be a good player for us. Otherwise, that will be the end of it. It took me 6 hours, almost 7, to go through this entire transfer window. Like I said, it takes some time to do this. For me, I'm pretty slow. I'm not having, like, Football Manager isn't something that I exactly know how it works yet, even though I've been doing this, at least our FM franchises, for the past couple of years. But I'm still, like, the scouting and stuff, still getting used to how scouting as you're going up kind of works. I'm not the greatest at finding players, like, in the search bar or anything like that, just manually. So, yeah, we're going to hope that this works. Otherwise, I might have to go to a more conventional, which I'm fine with, because guys like Phillips can play that conventionally in the first place. But yeah, I'm hoping not. So thanks for hanging out. Go and leave a like below, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Later.